Okay, this is the first video I've ever talked on with my car. Today I'm going to attempt to primer my spoilers for the rear. As you can see, they're pretty bad shape. The corner ones in the previous pictures on my other YouTube videos, you saw I had to cut these. I had to actually cut them and move them a little bit and reshape them because they just wouldn't fit the quarter panel in my car. And there were good marked quarter panels, and for some reason right there where they curve, it just didn't fit right, which I went out and took another set off a 78 I have sitting outside and tried them on these new quarter panels, and they were exactly the same. They fit great on the 78, but these aftermarket ones, no. And then I had to make some holes bigger, which I will be welding up, closing them up a little bit better, and see how that works out. But the car itself's not coming along too bad. Most of the body work's done except for those final primering it, block sanding it, primering it, block sanding it, which we all hate body work and it takes forever, but unfortunately it has to be done, and you just can't pay people $100, $175 an hour to do this stuff when I can just find the time and work on it slowly and a little bit at a time. I do have parts cars. They're both 79s. I've been taking parts as I want off from them. Like the top one there, the black one, I did take the posi disc brake rear end out of it and put into this one that I'm building because I wanted a posi. And why not disc brake rear end? And then the one that came out of here, which was a non-posi, went back into the black one so I can move it around and use it as my parts cars. But it's the first video I talked on. We'll see how it works out. Thank you. Well, that didn't go as planned. My gun was really messed up, or my mixture. I don't know which. The gun acted like it had a plugged little port on the side, and it was shooting out the one side. I guess that's the good thing about filler primer, is you sand it anyway, so even the blotchiness and everything, we'll get it smoothed out, and I'm sure we'll be hitting it with more primer here, try to get it to look better and smoother. And I do love filler primer though. It's just, I'm like everyone else, you know, I don't have good expensive equipment. My stuff comes from Harbor Freight, and for my primer guns, I normally use a siphon gun to do the primer, because why go ahead and use the expensive stuff? It's just going to be primer, and you know, and I know I say just going to be primer, but it's very important to have a good primer. I do use a quality primer, but give you an idea, what I use is siphon guns for primer. I do have a thing to mix it up. My gravity fed guns are the ones I go back with to do a little bit better job. And then when it comes to actually painting, I got a starter line set that I use to actually do the painting and stuff. Like I say, I'm not a professional by any means, and I couldn't pay a professional to do this kind of work. And everything I've learned was way before YouTube, and you just couldn't look it up and see how to do things like you can now. So I'm basically self-taught, and it's just a hobby for me and something for me to do. I'll get these parts over here figured out and get them sanded down, get some more primer on those and make them look better and be ready for paint someday. But I only work on my projects in the wintertime because I'm really busy during the summer, you know, house repair, mowing, just like everyone else, nothing different. This car was an automatic car when I bought it with a 350, and I decided that I was going to put a 455 in it and a 4-speed. It's a little more work than I would have imagined, you know, but the 455 is hidden underneath there. It is there, it's rebuilt. I did end up buying a whole new one-piece floor, which we put in, or I put in a couple years ago. And I do have my 4-speed in there. And basically, a little at a time. I figure another 3 to 5 years, I should have this thing done. If I had more time, I could probably have it done in a year. But, life.